2026 rut. Morning 1, came out early and had a doe with a young fawn, first year fawn with her, not too far from the front gate. Set up, walking out 20 metres from the shed, had a really young spiker nearly bump into us. He didn't know what we were. Decided to leave him because we could hear another buck croaking across the road, which is not our property. Tried to rattle him across the highway. Now we're back up the property, into the gully. Got my little hunting buddy with me this year, her first ever rut, and she's off to a cracker. You know, she's heard 3 different bucks croaking, haven't set eyes on them yet. Further up this gully, we've got my camera I set up in February, and yeah, morning 1, it's just starting to get a bit warm. We're meant to get a cold snap Sunday morning, which is 3 days away, and I think that cold snap will keep them out a bit longer, but by the sounds of it they've already gone to bed by 7:30 because she's plenty hot. But 2026, here we come. Alright, this is my 7th rut on this property in a row. I'm just heading home to the car after having a look about this morning and seeing quite a lot. I just thought I'd make a quick note. Like, I'm relatively a fit fella and I'm struggling in the heat, which means I start to sweat like this and huff like this when I'm walking this slow along the swale. Well, less swale, more game trail. When it's above 32 probably. Middle of April, the usual sort of peak of the rut on this property, you know, give or take a week of course. I usually have a jacket, beanie and gloves on. It's usually starting with a frost, if not just burdening on a frost. 32 degrees, dry as. I'll see the wind's right in our face. They got really bad eyesight and really good noses. See the wind's blowing all our smell behind us. And he's only reacted because I used my hand to move. That's the luckiest day those 3 little pigs have ever had. It's witching hour in the rut and we're in good deer country, so we'll clean them up on Sunday. Alright, little bit devastating. Got up to the camera and it was on, heaps of batteries, but some SD card memory fault with 0 photos. Deer sign everywhere, we can hear them croak, and no pictures, so we don't know what we're chasing. That's never happened before. A little bit devastating, but we're here on the lookout, and later in the day now, so just trying to make the last little plan. And I've got a camera I've pulled off a different place to come put out here somewhere, which we might do this afternoon after we go home for a feed. But onwards and upwards. Give me a little rattle, slowly, gently. Meow. Alright, sorry about some of that footage with the phone this morning. Humping up the steep hill with the rifle and the backpack and the camera equipment. I wasn't expecting to chase those pigs. They were kind of in the way. They kind of slowed me down. So you got phone footage of that because it's in my pocket. Got the GoPro out now, and the footage for the rest of the day will be better. I've actually got the big camera, so we'll do a best of doing that. But hopefully that camera footage just then of that really light coloured buck and his little harem is decent enough. And he was quite cool. He was really quite wide, and for this property they don't really palm it out too much. But sorry, my eyes are darting around. I've got kangaroos going everywhere. So I let him walk because my little girl would be stoked with him. He's taken his girls up the head of the valley. We've got this thermal kind of pushing up as it warms up this gully, but the wind's coming down this way, and tomorrow's the cold change, so we're going to see the wind swing around from this north-northwesterly right around to a southerly through today, which is why I busted my ass and didn't get good footage for you guys coming up the hill, because now I'm up here. I knew these guys were here because I know the property well. I knew there'd be some deer here. Obviously I don't know exactly where they're going to be, and he'd be a cracking first deer. You'd be stoked with him. So I'm going to bring my little girl, who hopefully you saw on the footage yesterday with me, up and see if we can't find him tomorrow. And for now I've got a little bit more climbing to do, and then I can start heading back into that north-northwesterly. And as it changes through the day through that westerly, it's just going to get better and better and better for me, that wind. And by the afternoon, if I'm still up here, I'll be able to walk back down towards the southwesterly as it starts to bring that cold weather system in. And hopefully that doesn't beat the forecast, because I didn't bring a jumper. So hopefully it stays hot and we just get the cold change overnight. But onwards and upwards. Had my little sip of water. Here we go, 2026 ruts in full action. Let's go. And now we wait. So I've just come up 20 metres above those scrapes. In the scrapes there was fresh piss, really fresh disturbed soil from today, last night. Set myself up here, nice little rest, bit of cover. It's just gone on 8:30, so starting to push it, haven't heard anything. It's been a really quiet morning. It stayed overcast, so it's not too hot, so hopefully they'll stay active for a little bit longer. The last two gullies, the heads of the gullies I was just in, I worked quite hard to get here. Absolutely nothing, no sign, no fresh sign. So dry. Like even those sort of southwest facing gullies just had no pick, just rocks and dead grass. So I'm facing a more northerly facing gully, but on the opposing sides are south facing. So I feel like this is the first part of his side. So got some noise, but it's not a fallow croak. If I had to guess, I think it was a goat. Maybe some kid goats even. See if we can find him. Just as I thought, two little kid goats. Noisy little buggers. Both white too. Don't often see them around here because they all got rounded up. There you go. So noisy. I feel like they've lost their parents. They're pretty little. Making a heap of noise. This is my last gully on the property. Worked pretty hard this morning, it's hot, everything will be in bed, so might just be standing things up as I head home. She's a steep one, but it's the last one. Everything else has been dry by the first one. And hopefully there's a bit of feed at the bottom of this one. If anything, right now is a bit of a research trip for tomorrow, so we'll see. Don't know how the camera will go zoom in on this later after the shot, but check out these three skylined up under the tree. Shootable distance, completely skylined, and over that hill is forever. Most of this property, but I've got no idea what the farmer's doing today, so absolutely no on the skyline shots, of course. And I'm miles away and it's really hot now. It's probably late 20s, early 30s, coming on lunchtime, so given I'm so far from the ute and it's so late in the day, I think I'd be in a real mad dash to skin that and butcher it and get it back without it being completely cactus. So nothing good out of that shot, other than a bit of fun, heap of risk and some lost meat, so it's a no. Keep on walking. Just a tiny little glimpse of it walking past. Now it's in the thick scrub. Dang. Uh, 2019-2020 was pretty rough down here on the New England tablelands in terms of drought. You can see this one, 2026, has come about quite differently. It's quite a shock, like it didn't slowly turn to drought with the occasional drizzle. This has just been a no rain to speak of. I think I had 0.4 of 1 mil in the whole month of February, bugger all in January, nothing in all in March. Just November, December was dry. They didn't really get the summer storms. So the food producers out here at New England Tablelands doing a little bit tough And from what I've seen this weekend, even using my binos to see neighbouring properties, they're all similar condition. That's the neighbours over there. And the amount of pigs running around, and up in this place, Fallow, saw 4 foxes last night, so we're going to be back out tonight on a spotlight just to help take some pest pressure off. I did come all the way down here in the thought that I'd just chase, you know, a nice little fallow buck in the rut, but now that I've got around the property, I've stayed out a bit longer to walk around and sort of get my head around the conditions. But I tell you what, I don't think I'll be chasing that unique little buck anymore, or big buck. I think I will be trying to take as much pressure off this feed as possible, because they're already hand feeding, already buying hay, and let's hope the winter of 2026 gets some decent water for them and not too many harsh frosts. But if you can get down here, if you're lucky enough to have a property to shoot on, don't just come down at Christmas because you've got spare time, and don't just come down for the rut because it's awesome. Now's a good time to get down here and help them out. So if the farmers let you on, do them a favour and get back down here, get some pressure off for them as much as you can. Alright, last morning, 2026 rut. We've worked really hard every day. Passed up a bunch of spikers, saw that one cracker that we went back out and chased, and last night, or yesterday afternoon, absolutely disappeared. Eerily quiet, the bush yesterday. Didn't see hardly anything. It's all like shut up, maybe for this cold change, but you heard me whinging the other afternoon about how hot it was. Back to 2 jackets and a beanie, so now it actually feels like the rut. In saying that, I'm out here earlier than I've been any other day because it's the last day. I want to get up into position. I've got a different wind too, opposite wind, so I've got to pump downhill, round the back, far back boundary, western boundary, to then get up to the top from a different angle. So out here much earlier, and wish everybody the best of luck, and hopefully you had a cracking rut. I've seen some great photos up, but for me so far, we took a meat animal the other night under spotlight on the way back. Not proud of it, but with the cost of living and the cost of diesel and the farmer wanting them all gone, we decided to pop one back right near the homestead, right near the truck, just so we don't go home completely empty-handed. And today, after we hunt the best part of the day, we'll do some pest management on the way back to the house, as I referred to earlier in the hut. But yeah, straight shooting everybody. he's in trouble. He's down. That was wild. He was thrashing a bush. There's his girls. I think we just got a buck and some meat. How good. Yep. 2026 rut pushed me so hard. I nearly wasn't going to come out this morning. Oh gosh. Found him and his girls. Right on daybreak. Well, it's not first light. That guy did not grunt or croak at all weekend. Yeah, she's down. I can hear one croaking on the neighbours that way. I can hear one croaking across the highway right back down the front of the property. This fella did not croak all weekend. Yeah, sorry, she's just suffering a little bit, so I don't like that. He did not make one noise the whole time. I've been up here, as you saw, since before dawn. Couldn't find him. He made no noise listening to everyone else croak. Neighbour's property across the highway, like I said. That was a proper old school spot and stalk. None of this croaking to give them away stuff on this fella. Found him though. Yeah! Man, the last morning I've got to do all that work now and get in the car and drive home. My goodness, that was tough, but we got there. So yeah, came out in the cold this morning, the cold change. Suffered pretty hard, got up the back here and just got this shot across the gully. I mean, there's plenty of sign that they were around. Like, I knew they were here, I know the block well. Absolutely no croaking off this block. Across the highway, hear them croaking at the front gate. Can hear them croaking across on the irrigated property, across the fence. I actually heard one croaking as I was cruising back into town. Just where it hits the 50 zone, had the windows down. Look, plenty of song. Like, obviously being the rut helped, because you know they were holding up in certain places with feed and just had to find them, but it's not like I could rattle him in, it's not like I could croak him. He didn't respond to my version of the Mew, this fella. It was hard going. But he was up here, as I shot him, he was up here thrashing this bush actively. And I had to wait for him to kind of turn a bit broadside for me whilst he was thrashing. This is, I'm 99% sure this is the deer we saw that has the lighter coloured coat and the bigger set of antlers on this property. Not a monster by any stretch, but man, when you've been out here for 5 days pushing it pretty hard, all of a sudden some meat, and the coat on this one is exceptional. And there's stag. I'll have a look at the walk up here. You're nice and wide. That'll be the exit hole on the 3006 is quartering towards me. That's the entry hole right there. Hey, not bad. Not bad at all. He's got that real thick winter coat ready. Look at him, bulked out through the throat. I don't mind that at all. Nice and light coloured. On these properties they sometimes get a big missing patch here where they scrape under the fences, but not him. How good's that? And he's in better condition than I thought he was going to be. I thought he'd be all strung out. And I tried to preserve this one for meat. If you don't really like headshots, maybe look away. That's the second one. But what's going on there? She'd been wounded a little bit. Maybe that's an antler mark. Maybe she was misbehaving. Well, doesn't get much better than that. It's nice and cool. I might drag them both down into the shade to keep them a little bit cooler as that sun comes out. But might have some skinning to do because they're both beautiful. Gosh, I worked hard for that. Oh man, how I wish my little girl came out this morning. I pushed her really hard for 4.5 days. And she just needed to sleep. Because she's 12. And my goodness, am I proud of her. Thanks so much if you're watching this. For coming out and pushing yourself and hiking the big hills with me, day in, day out. And these ones are for you. Here he is, all cleaned up. A week later, thought I'd give you a look. He's come up really nice. Stoked with him. Alright guys, random plug in the middle of a photo for something that I'm not associated with. I'm not getting paid for this. This is not a sponsored ad. I'm doing this off the goodness of my own heart. For a long time, they're coming in. For a long time, I ran this lead lenser. Huge big battery pack on it, a little bit of a zoom. Does bugger all in the way of like, you know, red lights and stuff. And I thought it was really good. I'd been sold into, you know, oh, I've got to get a lead lenser, they're the best. Anyway, a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago, I took a bit of a gamble and bought this Dubite head torch online, Dhubite. And every single time I've taken it out with the different people, every single person has commented as to the throw, as to the flood, the red flat. It's got all the things. But the reason I bought it was that lead lenser, the on button, is just this big giant thing here that just always gets bloody pressed in your bag. I've turned up to a holiday, I've turned up to a hunt with it flat because I charged it the night before I left because it had been bumped in my bag. So then I started putting it in container and doing all these different workarounds, which shouldn't have to happen. So I took a punt on this because the on-off switches are all hidden by that one little feature of the angle. Okay, just that. Happens to be mostly water resistant, waterproof maybe, rechargeable. It's got the zoom ability. That throws crazy light, and that floods the light. But we've also got this lower floodlight, goes red, does red flash as well. Got some memory functions in it, so it comes on as a last remembered session. And then the big one, which daytime here, and the GoPro won't do it justice, but all the functions you'd expect is red flash, flood yellow, flood white, throw clear white, covers that. There's a battery indicator on the back here in green, which is always spot on. I've taken that out from, you know, the sunset through to 10:30, punching high beamers the whole time through to about 10:30. I only went down like one green dot. I've never actually run it flat. And with it full throw, I've actually spotted a whole bunch of foxes and stuff on the way back from deer hunts, and helped clean up some pests on the way back just off a head torch. So I'm not associated with them. I'm getting nothing for this, but every time I go, people comment. My mates have bought them, and they're all pumped. One of my mates fishes a lot off East Arnhem Land. He lives up there, and he's got one, loves it. So well done to the guys, Dubite, whoever you are. Well done for making a bloody good torch.